JT O'Connell asked a question that's a real specific answer. Sorry, I got a little tickle cough here. I think I might have mentioned this earlier too. What is the best way you've ever seen to understand the scale distance between stars and planets and so forth? And can we really intuit the minuteness of our own apparently massive environment? I don't want to repeat what I said earlier. First of all, look up Powers of 10. It's a fantastic video. They did it back in the 60s or early 70s, and then they redid it. Powers of 10, you just keep zooming out and then zooming in on little frames that are 10 times bigger than the last frame. But there's also something, if somebody could post maybe, I don't know if you want to post it on Facebook or something on the Facebook post for today's show, there is a side-scrolling thing that shows you the scale of the solar system. It shows you, here's the sun, and it's so many pixels tall, and then you scroll with your mouse, scroll, and you see these little, reference bars going by, reference bars, you're scrolling, it seems like you're scrolling forever. Here's 1 pixel. There's Mercury. Scroll. Here's 20 pixels, that's Venus. Here's another 21 pixels, that's Earth. And every single time you scroll, it's getting further and further and further. And then they start sending signposts like, keep going, Yeah, I got a long way to go. And by the time you get to Mars, and then Jupiter, finally Jupiter is, I don't know, 50 pixels tall or something like that. But it's taking you 100 years to scroll past these things, and it's terrific. And you realize there is no solar system. There is no solar system. There's the sun and minute debris, specks. It's astonishing. It's really good. Let's see here. Dan Ramsey says, it seems that in every single story nowadays about exoplanets, comets, ice on the moon, and just general space exploration, there's a mandatory paragraph or two discussing the potential presence of life or the building blocks of life or conditions being ideal for the emergence of life. This strikes me as the scientific equivalent of, you may already have won $1 million. Do you agree, or do you think science journalists are just trying to add sizzle to what might be a dry topic? I think they are trying to add sizzle, but I think the sizzle is appropriate. I mean, life is the jackpot, right? That's the reason we go to other planets, and the reason we do this. We want to see if anybody's out there. We want to talk to somebody. We want to pick up a bug or a piece of moss that is unlike anything that's ever been seen before. It's not got our DNA. It's different, alien life form. So that's something to ring the bell about, and I don't mind them ringing the bell. I'm happy about it. But I had a thought about this that I never had until this exact instant, and that's this. When I was a lad, in 1973, we were talking about the Drake equation, and there might be water on Mars, perhaps, kind of thing. And I realized just now that when life is announced in the solar system somewhere, and I suspect there's a good chance I'll live to see it, maybe not. But if I had to bet, I would. I would say I would. It's going to be anticlimactic, because it's like any showman knows, you don't just dribble the cast out there. You don't just, when we did Speakeasy, just as an example of what I'm talking about, when we shot Speakeasy in a 100-seat theater and the audience is filing in, we didn't have the guests just kind of come out and sit on the couch. We let the audience come in, and when the audience was in and when everybody's really fired up, then we sent a guy out to get everybody pumped, and I came out, and then I brought everybody out. But it was an entrance. It's show business. It's exciting. And intelligent life, forget intelligent life. Life is being dribbled out over so many little announcements. Well, we think we may have seen something on the Viking lander, but yeah, probably not. And something here that might be water on Mars, but maybe not. Well, it turns out it looks like it could very likely be water. And then 10 years of likely be water. Yes, it's definitely water. Okay, great. Well, maybe perhaps there might be some form of it's like it's getting dribbled out over such a long period of time. They're taking all the drama out of it. I wish I could have just come out and said, hey, in 1973, hey, guess what? We found it. And until then, until we got it, be quiet. Look, I don't blame them. I'm proud of them, and obviously proud of them. Anytime you make any kind of incremental discovery, a little bacteria on this meteorite, is that a bacteria? Maybe. Looks like a bacteria, but maybe it isn't. Anyway, you get the idea, right? So I don't mind them saying you might just have won $1 million, because you may have just won $1 million. It's just like the end of In Search Of. I'd like some answers and less speculation, please.